Hello everybody, my name is Slade Gaming Genie, and welcome to Silent Hill 2. Now today, we're going to be playing the game on normal across the board. This is in preparation for Silent Hill 2 Remake, which I am super excited for. Now, I've played Silent Hill for a long time. I simply do not recall everything. So, I figure this will be a good refresher to go into the remake so that we can scrutinize it accordingly. Hello, James. Now, Silent Hill and Resident Evil are staples in my gaming career. So is Dead Space, but that's a lot newer compared to the other two. So, going back to roots with these, playing the remakes, playing these, playing the originals, it's been something that I've done for a long time. So, I thought we'd start with Silent Hill 2, being that the remake is coming out. But if there's enough interest, we'll go through Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill,
Could you really be
The
in
Room.
this town?
That'll be fun. Man, what an entrance. There we go. Exit the bathroom at the rest stop. Man, it's been so long since I played this game. I haven't played this since I was like, I want to say close to 10. It's been 16 years since I played this game. That's crazy.
In my
That's
restless
crazy.
dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
Wow.
You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I love Silent Hill's aesthetic so much.
I got a letter.
This is so good. Already.
The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter.
This is gaming history.
Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there?
Oh my gosh. The
Is
parallels
she really alive,
in the audio alone.
waiting for me?
If you guys haven't seen the trailers for Silent Hill 2, or if you have tell me what you think about the Silent Hill 2 remake in the comments below. Let me know, because I'm super hyped for it from what I've seen from Bluebird Team. I have a trust of Bluebird Team in this particular instance. I'm very skeptical about their other stuff. Don't get it twisted. I'm very skeptical about their other stuff. But in terms of this particular game and what I've seen, I trust it. Now, obviously, we're not getting, like, there's a map in the car. Oh, schnitzel, I forgot about that. I was busy talking. Anyways, in terms of this particular game, we're not getting like a we're not getting like a Resident Evil 2 remake. You know, it's not going to be on that level, I don't think. But this is going to be like a really good sign for Silent Hill. This is the first, because like technically, if you think about it, right, the first indicator that Silent Hill or that Resident Evil was coming back was a like Resident Evil 1 remastered, right? Like that was the first thing where we had gotten Resident Evil back on the board. I mean, obviously there was Resident Evil 7. I don't remember the exact... I'm pretty sure that 7 came out way, way after the Resident Evil 1 remaster. But that's what brought it, like, back, right? That's what made people like, all right, Resident Evil might be back. And it was. Resident Evil is so back. So I'm hoping that Silent Hill 2 is the Resident Evil 1 remaster in terms of just bringing back this franchise. Like, I played Downpour on my channel, and I loved the nostalgia of that game. The game's not good by any stretch of the word. I'm not trying to argue that. I'm not pretending that. I'm not blinded by nostalgia in that regard. But it was a good first step, and I think that's the point. We need to contrast things like that, right? Like, the thing about Silent Hill, aside from being so damn foggy, is that it's a franchise that's been basically dead in the water since 2014, since Konami canceled PT. And that is something that I can't abide. I will forever be salty about PT not being a thing. I don't care if they didn't like Hideo Kojima, I don't give a damn. They should have finished the game. Gazebo? Well. And it's something that... there's something in the well. What's that? Looking at this makes me feel like someone's groping around inside my skull. Gives me a weird feeling. Save file! Anyways, like I was saying, my whole point is that I think we need to give them a fair chance, because this game, I will never forgive them for PT, because Silent Hill has and always will be one of my favorite franchises in terms of just psychological horror and horror in general. Survival horror, psychological horror, the entire aesthetic and genre. Now, I say I won't forgive Konami for that fallacy. But that being said, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Silent Hill F, and the Metal Gear Delta remake of 3
Excuse me,
looks great, and it's starting to make amends, and I will begin to forgive them if those are all good. If all of those are bangers, okay. You know what I mean?
Lost?
Yeah, I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
So,
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away.
so here's something that I have a lot of
This
talk about with our particular group, my friend group,
This town,
is the delivery of lines.
something wrong with it. It's
I'll explain after the
hard to
exposition.
explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe.
Little bit.
And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's-
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
I didn't say
I
you were.
believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone.
Who is it?
Someone... very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Okay.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her.
So, this game was originally on... I want to say this one was on the PS2. This was the first Silent Hill on the PS2.
I can't find them either.
And
I'm sorry. It's not your
No,
problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
interesting. Now, so this is a point of discussion in my friend group, in all the friend group, in like between everyone that we have in the friend group. I'm very bad at articulating this, but essentially the idea is that in Silent Hill 2, they focus a lot on the facial gestures and stuff and doing what they can with the graphical improvements from the PS1 to the PS2. And that includes using James's like eyes and face and like the corners of his mouth and everything and like body language and stuff to determine like lies and sympathy and stuff like that, and just like conveying emotions properly. They also do a lot with the delivery of the lines, which I mentioned earlier before that exposition. Did I just go back? Did I just go back? Wait. No, I'm going the right way. Okay. But anyways, so a lot of what happens in Silent Hill is they deliver lines in a way that's very unsettling and uneasy, very uncanny valley. You know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily stack up today because it doesn't feel... Oh, the classic. It's not that HD remake Comic Sans, which is a big point, apparently. And it doesn't, like, stack up today because, you know, obviously we can do a lot more with the Uncanny Valley nowadays. There's a lot more techniques. There's a lot more we can do with facial technology in gaming and innovations and things like that with vocal delivery. But for the time, it was intentionally kind of off, almost fake. You know what I mean? It's at least that's the argument I make, and John makes, and a couple other people make, is that the delivery of lines is intentionally a little bit, like, off-putting. And sure, that doesn't necessarily hold up today, but it's something that I think will hinder the game in the future, the remake, which is in about 30 days, so we got to pile drive through this game. But it's something that I think will hinder the game in the future, because if they don't do it, it's going to be a little bit contrary to the unsettling nature of Silent Hill. And I think that's a fair point to have. But that said, I think there's also a lot more they can do with the vocal delivery in terms of just making it too serious. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like giving the game too serious of a tone in this setting is a negative in a way, because if you think about it, part of what made Silent Hill 2 very, very messed up is there's a character named Eddie that we'll meet later, and his delivery in this one is just very off-putting, and I don't know if it's going to hold up in the new one unless they do it kind of the same way. And the thing about Silent Hill is that it always touches on extremely touchy subjects, like always very touchy. Even Downpour had extremely dark graphic material, and that's kind of the point of Silent Hill, is that it's supposed to be the psychological, almost like torment of the player character, and sometimes the player, depending on which one you're playing. And that's something that I'm really hoping that the remake can capture and keep to us. Because I know the Dead Space remake, I love the Dead Space remake, by the way. I might do another playthrough of that at some point, because I got it on PC recently, and that's really cool. One of the things about it, right, is that it doesn't just attack you physically. Like, the necromorphs aren't the only threat. There's also the psychological damage and especially for new players that didn't know about the twist in the end of the game. It kind of messes with you, and that's a good thing. So here's another cool factor that I wonder if they're going to be able to do justice. In Silent Hill 2, the map is extremely important, because without knowing which way you're going, you could end up walking literally out of town, completely off the books. Because of the fog. And the fog is actually a stylistic choice, not only because it makes the game creepier, but because it was a graphical limitation on the PS1. It made it so that they could give this, like, much higher quality environment that didn't show rendering in, while at the same time not compromising the fear factor. So they basically put the fog in as a means of hiding and concealing the graphical infidelity of the game, and that made it a lot more enjoyable, at least in my opinion. Anyways, enough of the gamer nerd rant. I'm gushing about the game way too much, but that's fine. That's kind of the intention of me playing this, is to kind of gush about it and get used to the new stuff. Now, there are a few changes between the remake and the original, and I don't know if they're for better or for worse yet. So far, everything is almost one-to-one, except for a few, design choices, and I think that's fine. I think one of the main things that people forget about games like this is that they more than anything try to tell a story. And I think that is one of the most important things about horror games, is telling the story. I don't think you can have a good horror game without telling an adequate story. Like, if it's just jump scares, if it's just cheesy atmosphere, if it's cheesy, like, enemy types and architecture and stuff like that, it's not really going to land. It's going to end up being more funny, more B-list, more C-list than anything. But when you get, like, a really nice horror game, you get Silent Hill. And Resident Evil leaned really hard into the B-movie aspect, the cheesy jokes and everything. Silent Hill leaned more into the twisted nature of humanity, and that's something that I love and respect about the game, because it's always been more horror-themed than anything. So, that is definitely something that I want to see come back in the horror games industry, in the survival horror industry in particular, because, yes, while you can survive and beat up the monsters and everything, and, like, maybe you can get really good at the combat and, like, beat everything in one go. And there are boss fights and everything. Obviously, there are arenas that you can't escape from, stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's about survival, not just beating everything up. Wasn't there a pipe around here? Something? Piece of wood? I guess not. Anyways, I've yapped for so long about this already. I want you guys' opinions in the comments. If you're watching this video up to this point, firstly, thank you for listening to me be a friggin' clown and yapping this long. But I want your opinion about what either what I've said or about the game in general. I want to know what you think about these topics. I want your genuine descriptions of what you think the game is going to be like, or what you want from the game, or what you don't like so far. I want to know, because I want this to be like an actual topic that we talk about, is quality and industry of the survival horror franchise. And whether or not Silent Hill 2 Remake is a good point to start with. Now, I've had a lot of people argue about whether or not Silent Hill 2 was the better one to start with, or Silent Hill 1, and I think 2 is the better option. You're uncomfy. Oh, you're gonna beat... Instead of just running away, you're gonna beat it, James? Okay. Bonk!
What the hell is it?
Why didn't you just leave, dude?
It's not human.
You don't say! Well, it could have been. Maybe it just melted from radiation or something.
Oh, yeah. This thing broken?
Your phone is messed up.
What the?
What the?
I better take it anyway. I might need it.
See, this is it's a very strange mindset when you go into survival horror, because there are some things that you just can't get past in terms of goofy nature. Oh, am I bleeding? Or is that thing's blood? I think that's that thing's blood. I thought I'd walked into the barbed wire and gotten taken damage. Anyways, it's kind of a very strange mindset, because if you wander into a foggy town while looking for someone, you're not just going to start picking up everything that you see on street corners and stuff and carrying a stick. Then again, after the monster, maybe that'll be the turning point. Like, maybe after the monster, you're like, maybe I'll start collecting inventory items and stuff. Maybe that's a real mindset people have. But for me, personally, I'd probably be on the board of, why would I need this broken cell phone? You know? That's me personally, anyways. Or this broken radio. I don't remember. I think it's radio. But it looked like a flip phone, didn't it? Moving on to the next section. We're going to try to get to... We're going to try to get to, let's say, where the demo ended. The demo that they showed for episode 1. And we'll try to power through this more throughout the week. I'm going to do more Sly Cooper. Don't get that... Hello. Ow. Bonk. Bonk. Ah! Now, the control update is definitely going to be something. A lot of people were like, oh, the combat was really clunky. Why would you show combat for the game? That's an argument that I've genuinely heard. And I think it's stupid. Because, one, the original Silent Hill 2 launched with a combat trailer as one of the first things. And then on top of that, right, the combat doesn't look terrible. Like, some of the animations are a little stiff. But firstly, not even done. Secondly, Oh, schnitzel. Oh my god. Secondly, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't really care that much. The combat isn't central to the game. The story is central to the game. And if your big complaint about the game is, oh, the combat doesn't look that great, did you even play Silent Hill? Let me in. I want a happy burger. Because, like, yeah, sure, combat is integral to these games in terms of, like, the boss fights and such, right? But at the end of the day, it's not the most important part. It's not the feature that I'm gonna end-all, be-all, like, this game is good, this game is bad. I'm more focused on the story that they're telling. That's what's important to me. And if the story is good, if they don't mess it up too much, if they keep it pretty integral to what Silent Hill is, I'll be happy. Here's one thing that I will say that I like about the original Silent Hill games over pretty much any modern horror game is just the diversity of area and like enemies, right? So sure, this initial area is filled with just these spitter type enemies, right? But there's so many more, like, intricate designs of characters and such. Oh, I didn't see this before. That's unfortunate for you, buddy. Good thing I'm not that guy. Anyways, like I was saying, character design and creature design is just so much different nowadays. It gets really, really bland, and I think the like... So I've always been an advocate for I don't like reading too deep into things in terms of, like, I don't think that the intent should be surface level, but I don't think you should have to open, like, 7 textbooks and read 18 data guides to figure out what this character represents. But with Silent Hill, it just works for me in a way that's really interesting and intricate. So, like, every single enemy, big, small, boss, human, monster, it all means something to the characters that are present in Silent Hill. And it's not just James here either, so it's not just his psyche that's being worked with. Opening into nightmares. Okay. Good. I think that's something that not enough games, like, tap into, is that sense of, like... is that sense of, like, it's almost like it's their fault they're here, you know? In a way. Now, granted, there are some where it's completely not. There are some completely innocent players in the series. Handgun bullets. Nice. Ooh. More handgun bullets? First aid kit. Like, there are some innocent actors and there are some bad actors in the story. And that's what I think is really complex about the Silent Hill story, is you're not necessarily always playing as the good guy. And I think that's something that's very, very tricky nowadays to do, right? I didn't like Last of Us 2, but a good example of not playing the hero is Last of Us 1, right? Joel was technically not the hero of that story, like, by any stretch of the word. Until at least the very end, he was a hero to someone. But that's what's interesting about that concept, is that he wasn't the hero to majority of people. He was a hero to someone that mattered to him. And I think that's a good lesson to get across in general, is you have to pick and choose your battles. And in Silent Hill, right, it's not even about being a hero. It's about survival and working through your own decisions and fallacies. Working through what makes you a person and what makes you tick. Your traumas and your insecurities and things. So that's a very fun topic. We've been getting really, really deep. I can't remember exactly where to go. Like I said, I haven't played this game in 16 years. But that's okay. A little bit of exploring in survival games is always a good thing. That guy's dead as hell. Apartment gate key. Cool. But where's the apartments? See, that's one cool feature as well, is that James is constantly looking at the nearest threat. So, if there's a monster nearby that you're not, like, comfortable with or you don't know about, or you can't see due to the camera angle in this one, can't see due to the camera angle in this one, James will kind of face the direction you need to be worried about, which is a very good thing in a game like this with fixed camera angles. And typically I'm not a fan of fixed camera angles, like, despite being a huge fan of the original Resident Evils and Silent Hills and stuff like that, I'm typically not a fan of fixed camera angles in games, just because I personally feel that it takes away from that kind of immersiveness, and I love being immersed in horror games. It's one of my favorite things. There's a difference when it comes to these titles, specifically because it kind of adds to that uneasy feeling, you know what I mean? Like, it makes the game almost creepier that you can't constantly see what's around you. And to be entirely honest, with the, lock is broken, can't open it? Okay. Cool. What was I talking about? Fixed camera angles, right. I've been yapping away, dude. I have a lot to say on this topic, apparently. I was hoping to come into this game, have some scares, have some gaffs, talk a little bit about the remake, and be done. But nope, here I am, yapping away. Ooh. And then the audio design is definitely something that I enjoy. Audio design in games is something that I think is personally one of the most important factors in deciding the tone and shift of the tone of your game in general. And any, like, transitions and shifts in the music in an audio design is unfathomably important for stuff like this. So, like, a horror game, right? Music and audio cues are integral to the environment that you're in. Without the right audio, the game would not feel correct. And the fact that there's no audio at some points is also a good indicator of like, choice. So, we'll get to it very shortly, but typically, you'll notice that if there is an enemy nearby, there will be this, like, droning pistoning sound in the background. And that's very, very important to the game. It's an intentional choice. See what I mean? The audio cues are extremely important in games, because that just told me that the monsters were dead. And that means there's one in here. I might have to kill that guy in order to continue. Hiya! What? Hiya! And I think the lack of a HUD is a good choice, too. I hope they don't put a HUD in the remake. If they put a HUD in the remake, that'll, in my opinion, diminish the experience. Because I think Silent Hill is one of the best immersive horror experiences that you can get in a game. And it's unfortunate that so many of the Western titles in the franchise were just not that great. There were a couple good ones, like, that's debatable. We're not going to get into that topic of discussion because that's more of like an opinion-based thing. Clearly there are bad titles and there are good titles. But it's one of those things, right, where it's like, can you really judge this game to the same standard you would, like, I don't know, Homecoming, right? You can't. It'd be unfair across the board to even put them in the same conversation. Can't get the door open. Just because of the sheer difference in energy in the games and the teams behind them, and there's a lot of... Like, this game is integral to the survival horror genre. And it's such a shame, right, that this franchise was gone for so long. Oh. Oh. Lock is broken, can't open it. Hey, ow. Hiya! 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 It's very easy to deal with certain enemies in the game. See, I'm starting to get injured now, I think, so I think I need to... I don't have a map of this area. But where's my inventory? How do I inventory? Do I pause menu? There's flashlight. Pause menu. Yeah, I'm getting hurt. There we go. Yeah, I was pretty close to death. But that's okay. See, there's one thing that I will say about classic games like this, is they give me genuine fear responses. Like, new games I'm worried about getting jump scared, and I'm worried about, like, resource consumption and stuff like that. Like, there are some genuine uneasy moments in like, I don't know, like Resident Evil 7, and there are some that are a little, like, in Resident Evil 8 Village. But for the most part in that game, it's like, oh, whatever, I guess I just need to pull out my magnum and shoot them in the face 350 times, you know? And in this one, it's more of, like, just uneasy and unsettling. The clock stopped at 5:05 and 15 seconds. Faceplate is closed. It is locked. Can't touch the needles of the clock like this. So this is the clock puzzle. Henry Mildred Scott. Okay. That means nothing to me yet. Gotta find more information about this particular puzzle. So, another interesting thing about Silent Hill, in my personal opinion, is that it's not just a story of your character either, right? It's a story of the town itself, and the town is constantly evolving and changing. Three needles stand in three different heights. Three different heights. The fat, the tall, and the thin. From slow to fast, they move to the right. Scott rests not on 3, but 15. Scott rests not on 3, but 15. Okay, that's important for the puzzle. We're going to have to determine the names, which, Ooh, that audio. We have to determine which hand all those names relate to. And after we determine which hand the names relate to, we can solve the puzzle there, and that will give us something out of the clock, I assume. And the lighting of the game, it's also extremely important. Lighting and music in horror games are two of the most important factors, in my opinion. Ooh. See what I mean? This is like a genuine feeling of, like, dread and unease. Like, I'm shaking my leg involuntarily because of uncomfiness. And, like, it's an old game, right? Like, this is, I want to say, what was this one, 98? Something like that? And it's still able to, like, give me that genuine feeling of unease. A handgun? Okay. I will take that, my friend. Wall is pockmarked with gunshots. Turn that bitch into Swiss cheese. I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I'm not. What the hell is that? There's a key on the ground on the other side of the bars. If I stretch my arm out, I just might be able to reach it. Yeah. Hey!
Ow! Hey, wait! Damn it.
What a little brat. Well, I guess we know where she's at. Wasn't she? No, she didn't start in the hospital. Duh. What is wrong with me? Sometimes I just forget things. I'm just a little guy. Looks like the lock is broken. Can't open it. Well, that's unfortunate. What about you? Can I go in here? Is this the gun room? It is. This is the gun room. Okay, well, I have to find a way around to that. Or find a long item to grab that. Can I use my stick? Is that a possibility? I should be using this stick a lot more effectively. I've got a couple things I need to do today, but that... Some kind of... north of here? Which way is north? Oh. Hello, Pyramid Head. What are you up to, buddy? I think that's Red Pyramid thing. I don't think that's Pyramid Head. There's a difference. There's two. Gotta know the difference between them. Oh, I clicked that already, but it didn't work before. Good question. So I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this. Oh, hey, I found the key to room 202. Okay. I don't think I can read the names of the rooms. One of the primary things I was just about to say is that I could be wrong about this, so fact check me. But, one of the interesting facts about this game is that the bodies that you find all over are James's body, and whether that is a psychological choice or if that is a limit on resources so they don't have to keep 1,000 different models in the game, I'm unsure. Is that 205? 205. Probably right up here. That looks like 202. Yeah. I'm blind, but not that blind. Okay. Health drink. Red sink. The body of a dead butterfly is on the ground. There's nothing else of interest here. I don't believe you. It's too dark to tell for sure, but I think there's something on the other side of the hole. Yeah. You have a flashlight, James. The clock key. Nice. Lock is broken. I don't know what that noise is. It could be any number of things. We're going to solve the clock puzzle, and that'll probably be the end of this episode, because I got stuff I got to do, unfortunately. And I also still have to edit this video, because I am recording this the same day it's coming out. There we go. Now I have to solve the puzzle. Ah. Alright, I have to remember this. So this tells me what direction they should be facing. So Henry should be facing left. Scott should be facing right. And Mildred should be facing diagonal. So let's say that's... Okay, so we should figure out... We know who Mildred is. Actually, no, we know who Scott is. Scott is the second hand. Okay. Scott is the second hand, so the second hand needs to be at 15 still. So I'm thinking like 9... 9-10? I'm thinking 9-10. I could be extremely wrong on this, but we're going to figure it out. Why is he still sprinting? Come on. There we go. Come on. I think it's like this. Okay, then it's backwards, so we need to get that at 10 and this at 9. Okay. I could have just kept going forward. What am I doing? Wait, do I have to back out of it for it to confirm? That could be a thing. Let me try both of them and I'll try pushing it. No? Okay. So I'll try pushing both of the things, because I think that might be the code. I think I could have, like, figured it out. But I also might be stupid, so we're going to see if I'm stupid. Okay. Haha! I'm a genius. I'm so smart. I didn't even have to find the right code. I'm just so much better. Look at me go. I'm so good. I'm so good at Silent Hill. I'm so good at horror games. Look at me go. Heck yeah, brother. What is this? Oh, save point. Perfect! Alright, cool. Perfectly timed. Alright. Well, this has been Silent Hill 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember to have those conversations in the comments below. I have been Slade. You've been the audience. This has been Silent Hill 2, and I will see you all next video. Peace out!